Hello, and welcome to our second edition of We Are the Bakers. We're not going to be before you long today. We just have a few things that we want to share. We ended the last time talking about the beginnings of our marriage, and we ended with the birth of our son. We had our son. But today we want to talk about the role that how we were raised individually, our upbringing, the role of our upbringing, what role it played in our marriage. And so we're going to talk about how he and I both felt about affection. So I'm going to let him go first this time since I went first last time. You guys like my hat? I'll talk to y'all about that later. That's the one, ain't it? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right. How we were raised. How I was raised. I come from a non-affectionate family.
But they loved each other.
Yeah, we loved each other. We just didn't say it, But it was there. The Bakers, if any Bakers out there, we are very loud. Some of us are. My siblings, my mama. My dad is kind of quiet.
Mm-hmm.
I take that from my dad's side, that trait I got from him, because I'm quiet too. But there was no, no touchy, no hugs, no I love yous. But you could tell that we loved each other very much. But we just didn't show it. And so by that, by going through that, it kind of, played a huge part early on in our marriage. The way I, the non-affectionate side of me. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's my side of the family. Your side of the family, baby?
Well, as most of you all know us, my side of the family, a lot of you know us, a lot of you may not, but at any rate, my family was very affectionate. We got that from my dad. My mom's family is affectionate too, but my dad was more affectionate and, turn off the TV, let's talk kind of person. He was just very affectionate, and so that's how I was raised. And when I married my husband, and when he wasn't that way, I took his inaffection as rejection. I felt it meant that I wasn't good enough. Somehow or another, he wasn't attracted to me. And I could talk to him about it, but being that he wasn't talkative either, it really didn't help anything. He just didn't have much to say, or he'd say a couple of words, and that would be it. And so that was a huge area of frustration in our marriage, because I took the inaffection as rejection, his lack of affection as rejection, and it wasn't until after we had been through and been through a whole lot of other things that I realized my need to feel needed and appreciated came from baggage that I had in my childhood. 4th, 5th, 6th grade, I was literally beat up some kind of way, hair pulled, something every single day that I went to school. I was harassed by other children because of the complexion of my skin. And it was not by our Caucasian brothers and sisters. It was our African American kids. That every single day, because I was darker skinned, I was harassed. 4th, 5th, and 6th grades. And it wasn't until I went to the school that my sister was that was cut out, because she was crazy and would walk up in the classroom because she really didn't care. And for her, I was her baby, and you wasn't gonna mess with me. So when I got to the school my sister was, the taunting and the teasing and the bullying, actually now they call it bullying. Then we were told kids would be kids. If you punch one of them in the face, you won't have to worry about the rest of them. Well, when you're a little kid and somebody is picking on you to that extreme, and it's more than one person, punching them in the face for me wasn't an option, because I was terrified. And so I grew up feeling less than. And no matter what my parents told me, no matter they told me I was beautiful, whatever, it did not have the same effect, because it didn't come from my peers. And so I didn't have to go to school with my mom and dad every day. I had to go to school with my peers. And so what my peers thought of me at that time, it mattered more. And so when I married my husband, I wanted to feel that he felt I was, but even in our dating, the signs were there that he just wasn't that affectionate. But I made it be my fault. In my own mind, I felt like, well, I was too needy or this, that, and the other. He was good in every other way and I was just too needy. And so I just needed to stop being so needy. But not having dealt with that prior to marriage, we end up dealing with it in our marriage. And it eventually broke us up. That's just the honesty of it. We're not taking long in these videos. We just want to get to the point. My husband's inability to show affection. The reason I say inability is because one thing about Wayne, God, my neck is so fat. Look at there. Y'all, I'm losing weight and it's like the skin is just, that ain't cute at all. I got to fix that. But anyway, Thanksgiving is over and I still got a turkey neck. I still got a turkey neck, baby. Thanksgiving is over. That is not cute. Like I had to do like this. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, a little better. That's how you do, baby. You don't have a neck.
So I had to
you just have shoulders
chin.
and head. Yeah, that ain't cute at all. Okay, let me see if I can adjust. That's better.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay. I can't hold my hand up that long. I know, God, all my neck. But anyway, and you just gonna.
I don't see it until I can see it right here, but I don't see it.
At any rate, like I said, it wasn't until we had broken up or whatever that I could come to understand where all of that, how I felt, came from. I wanted to feel that I was special. I wanted him to make me happy. You know, and that wasn't his responsibility. I needed to be happy within myself first, and he could add to that happiness. But I wanted him to make me happy. I wanted him to come in and undo all those years of hurt and everything that had gone on with me. I wanted him to come in. I expected marrying him to handle all of that. And when it didn't, it wasn't pretty. And his inability, and that's what I was about to say before I noticed my turkey neck. His inability to show affection, and I say inability because one thing about Wayne is if I would tell Wayne something I didn't like, Wayne would immediately try to change it. That was the blessing. He would immediately, I don't care what it was, but the thing about affection was, I don't care how many times we talked about it over the years, it would still revert back to him not being affectionate. It just kept going back and kept going back there. And you remember we used to have that conversation. I used to say, Wayne, please don't get me to the point that I don't care no more. Mm-hmm. I used to say, because if I don't care no more, I'll walk away. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to do that. And you guys, that went on for 18?
Yeah, on and off for 18 years.
On and off for 18 years. We were married and on and off for 18 years. We kept coming back to that point and coming back to that point. And I was excited because I had his son, and I just thought that was going to really be a big deal. But he knew no more of how to show his son affection than he did me. And see, he was raised at a time, his dad wasn't very affectionate toward him, but it didn't have the same effect on Wayne as it had on our son. Mm-hmm. I hope I'm making sense. Because Wayne wasn't raised away. He said he just never thought about it. He just knew that his dad played with the girls, talked to his sisters and stuff more, but he cut the grass and did whatever he had to do, and then you spent time with other relatives that had boys.
I think that was it, because I was hardly ever at home. I'm the only boy in the family, so I was never ever at home. It was always with a cousin, the relative. I just grew up away from the home with my other cousins. So
he didn't
like
have.
I was at home anyway. I wasn't really at home.
Right. So he didn't really feel it because he wasn't at home. Our son was at home because Wayne being military, my kids didn't have all of the relatives and stuff around them that Wayne had around him that could take up that slack where he really didn't pay it any attention. Mm-hmm. Our kids didn't have that. So our son, felt the blunt of that. And even in his adulthood, even now, he struggles with the fact that his dad, although Wayne has always been the most awesome provider. I don't care what went on. I don't care.